What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Anybody like my video on ring energy? I actually, the original video is like an hour long and I condensed it down to 20 minutes. There's a lot of crap on there, guys. A lot of crap. Uh, Please like and share. Helps me out a lot. Talking today about the rig count. It's 64. If you watch my video on the rig count, 64 rigs today. What's up, Jay? 64 rigs today is like 150 rigs only 6 or 7 years ago with down spacing and everything. So we've had weekly drops of 60, 70 rigs. It's insane. Making a video on Pioneer that I'm going to release. It's going to have their hedges, their costs to get the oil out, their cash on hand, all kinds of stuff. But I wanted to drive home today on this rig count a very important statement from their 10K, and that is they were only drilling wells that they have to drill for contractual obligations. And I think that is for everybody. Like everybody is only drilling for contractual obligations right now, except for natural gas. Natural gas is one of those weird things where some guys can drill and get by. Um, I'm not really a natural gas guy, so I'm not going to pretend that I know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to natural gas. Maybe I can get a guy on that knows natural gas better. But yeah, rig count dropped 64 rigs today. I'm doing a poll right now. I'm calling all the gathering companies, seeing if they're sending out letters. It's been a rough go. They don't like talking about it. But every oil and gas company has probably gotten a letter saying May 1st, everything that was on paper is out the window. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Which contracts? Gathering contracts? Or oil contracts? Oil contracts, they do the monthly deal. Like you have the front month and then correct on which one. I said two things. Sorry, man. As far as oil, if it's when you said the companies have contractual oh, I got you. Okay, yeah. Contractual obligations, farming, they have to typically it's say they have to drill so many wells to fill the contractual obligation. So a lot of these companies I imagine will be done with any contractual obligations by May 15th. And then I think May 15th area, I don't know what actual rig count comes out on a Friday, so I don't know what. Let me check real quick. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, that is May 15th is a Friday. I think either the May 15th or the May 22nd rig count report is gonna freaking disintegrate. You also have oil contract due on the 19th, I believe. It's May 19th oil contracts. That again could be just like we saw on the 20th, where it just freaking crashes because nobody wants the oil, nobody can use the oil. So, real possibility. Yeah, oil is due May 19th. Thanks, Eric. White House press conference. guys, they keep talking about what they're going to do about oil. The federal government, if they're smart, you can tell the business guy is like, hey, let's buy all this freaking oil right now because it's so cheap. That's a smart freaking idea. The one problem, and this is where it gets interesting because the consultants that are advising Trump or the CEOs of Exxon, Pioneer, so they're kind of putting stuff in his ear that may help them, but it could crush smaller guys. And the Railroad Commission is having the same problem that proration, whatever you want to call it, it could end up hurting the smaller guys even more if it's not done right. They'll get sued 100%. Railroad Commission would get sued very quickly, so they'd have to pay for that litigation. And third, and I think the most important thing, they'd have to hire a bunch of people to enforce this, and I don't know how you enforce that. But this idea of federalizing, making a national oil company, it's just stupid. You notice the Saudis that they're not buying American companies, and that could either be a they don't want to get sued because they manipulated quote unquote prices and then bought American companies, which they did in Europe. No harm, no foul. So, but they're not buying American companies because American companies are shit. Pioneer, and I'm going to get to that video. I'm going to do it probably over the weekend, release it Monday. Pioneer is only making about $10 off their hedges. They have three-way hedges, so they're getting about a $10 um, $10 deal on their hedges, which ain't a lot. Their operating costs, I guess, lifting. I don't want to call it lifting. Operating cost is roughly 680 a barrel right now, but they've got a lot of conventional, so it skews that number. But should be interesting. But this rig count is no joke, and Petro, Baker Hughes, Schlumberger, all the service companies are in deep trouble, deep trouble. Uh, what did Petro do today? I see that one. Yeah, down 7%. Tankers gave up some profits today, which that's to be a given. Tankers, I mean, they've had such a big run up. People are going to take profits, but long term second quarter earnings that they should peak around there. Whiting, I saw a stupid. I don't know if it was joke or real, but a guy was trying to justify that the 3 cents on the dollar you'll get for Whiting shares will be worth it because, how do you put it? They'll be restructured in strong company. I guess he's missing the fact that Whiting freaking got $14 million in bonuses to execs just before they filed bankruptcy. Like, that is trash. You look at Ring Energy, 550 grand a year on offices, multiple offices. They have 56 employees, and the average pay per employee is $125,000. Oh, by the way, all that G&A costs, that's not on their $25 uh, all-in costs. Go figure. But if you haven't watched the Ring video, check out the Ring video. Watch the whole thing because I'm talking about Dr. Kooks at first, but then I roll into other problems that they have. But yeah, it's trash. And before I forget, donkey of the day is none other than the Oxy CEO, Vicky Holub, however you say her name. They are hurting. They part of the deal to get Anadarko, Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, whatever you want to call them. Basically, Warren Buffett, they get an 8% dividend on preferred shares, which means every quarter they are getting $200 million. $200 million, guys, a quarter that Oxy has to pay out on that Anadarko deal. That is insane. So nearly $1 billion a year they're paying out. The share price of those preferred have tanked, but they're still making 200 million. That's on top of all the other debt they've got to do. So she is the donkey of the day. She made a crap load of money last year for whatever God knows reason. And her pitch the whole time is that they are the best at shell. So, what happens to a company that is focused on shell when prices drop and shell is no longer profitable? Crash. Absolute crash. Yes, Eric, she is a freaking nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Um, God, there's something else. Oh, I got a GoPro now. I, I, I went out and I got me a GoPro. So I'm going to start using a GoPro. Not doing so much cell phone videos. Moving up in the world, guys. Moving up, building up my channel. So I appreciate you guys sticking with it. If you follow me on Johnny Tyler on Stock Twits at Johnny Tyler, it's been fun riling all them guys up. You know, they've been calling me an idiot for months now, but it's been good. I think deep down, a lot of them guys know I'm right. They've lost so much money. It's kind of like Dr. Kooks with Ring Energy, lost so much freaking money on their stock. It's kind of, well, shit. Um, their 10K, check out their 10K because they've got a lot of skeletons in that. I may make a follow up video on Ring because they had multiple SEC infractions that they reported, late filings, just, I mean, more conflicts of interest than you know what to do with. Also, side note, oil guys, for actual, if you follow for oil field and oil wells, actually been seeing some pretty good orphans coming online. So may start ramping that up as well for you guys and could get fun. How are you in the green, Jay? They're down. Did you sell and then buy low and then catch them again? Or do you short them? I don't understand how you're in the green. Did you buy them at 20 cents? Oh, 56? Yeah, you're in the green. Take that money and run, man. You didn't get out when it hit $1 the other day? Yeah. Yeah, they're in trouble. This this debt deal. I think yeah, I already posted that. But their debt, because Jay, you were asking me about their asset value. Yeah, I'd be scared holding oil too. I think May 19th you're gonna see another deal where you got to pay somebody to take the oil contracts. Like oil contracts, it doesn't seem like a lot, but 1,000 barrels of oil, that's a lot of freaking oil. You know, think of 1,000 of the barrels, just that's a lot of freaking oil. There are talks, I've seen it on EFT on Twitter. There are talks about setting up multiple terminals for oil contracts. I think that is a great idea where you don't have to do it all at one terminal. I think that's like one of the smartest things that have come out of this in a while is that making multiple terminals for oil. Really good idea. Yeah, Morningstar is off. That you saw my post, but Ring Energy, those assets are based on I think 50, 53, $56 a barrel. At $17 a barrel, I mean, hell, what is that? It's a 60% drop. And their 1-to-1 ratio on their uh, oil and gas stuff is, I think, SunTrust has loaned them. I can't remember off the top of my head. SunTrust is but it's a 1-to-1 assets to debt. So their assets having dropped that far. This same thing happened to Aubrey McClendon of Chesapeake when the debt Chesapeake assets dropped to debt levels, and they called in all that debt. So it's the same type deal. The redetermination. I don't think they've actually have they set a date. Uh, there's a new Seeking Alpha article out on them, but yeah, it just says May 2020, so there's not a firm date on it, but it's not going to go well for them. You too, Jay. Have fun. I'll be here in purgatory, aka quarantine. North Texas is under quarantine. I don't know how everybody else is doing, but North Texas is completely shut down. They write tickets if you're out in public not doing your thing right. Dallas County, you get a ticket for not having a mask on. But you guys got any questions at all? Oh, personally, me, uh, ticker NNA tanker stock. I like them. They dropped 5% today. You know, that it may be worth picking up some stock. Sting did a little pullback, but nothing special. I wouldn't buy them, but yeah. And when I say Sting, it's STNG, that ticker. Yeah, the weekend should be fun. If you guys are on Twitter, make sure and follow Amina Backer. It's BAKR, and then Anas. I can't even say his last name. So Anas something. Yeah, the dividend on it is crazy. The dividend, considering how much money they're going to be making, is insane, which is good because it means the dividend, as their stock goes up, the dividend won't be nearly as good as it was. But the dividend puts you in it and helps you. So the dividend is good. Yeah, they all have great information. Amina, she she has a pretty good pulse on OPEC too. She gets all the good stuff, all the good info. Couple EFT guys are pretty good on Permian stuff, but I've noticed article came out on EFT, the Twitter EFT group, and now you've got a couple guys that are trying to put their 2 cents in, and I've seen some really off stuff, like the Whiting deal. A guy trying to justify going down with the ship and taking 3 cents on the dollar for Whiting shares. That's insane, guys. Whiting is going to be under. I think I've said this 2 or 3 times now because like Robinhood, all these little deals people are trading, and it's like get the hell out of Whiting because it's going to freeze up just like every other bankruptcy, and then what? Like you're broke. Like how many guys got stuck in the General Motors trap? They announced it, and people were still trading, and then next thing you know, it's over. So Don't stick around in that crap. Hey, what's going on, James? Hi. Any suggestions for renewable stocks short at Apache and Phillips 66 partners at market open in regards to Apache Suriname find? How long could it take? Operational, Exxon in Guyana, which is right next door, to put in perspective, it took them 5 years to get that operational. And it cost them $35 a barrel to get it out of the ground. So, um, yeah, 5 years you're looking at. Um, Phillips 66 partners, I do like that short because their pipelines into Cushing are going to start getting interesting. Any pipelines going into Cushing, and more importantly, the companies that are sending oil through that pipeline, it's about to get really interesting. The Epic pipeline going to Corpus Christi from the Permian, it's called the Epic. It's spelled Epic. I mean EPIC. That pipeline, Apache spinoff, Altus owns a piece of that, and they're screwed because they were the gathering and all that crap for Alpine. So Altus midstream is screwed. BP has a MLP, I believe, pipeline MLP. Get away from MLPs right now because it's just, oil company giving out cash right now is insane. Like dividends are the freaking devil right now. I don't like dividends to begin with, but in a time like this, you shouldn't be paying any dividend, i.e., ExxonMobil. Quit giving out a damn dividend. That's crazy. No dividends. MLPs, I've never liked them. If you see some of my old videos, I just don't like them. And then Permian guys, they're in trouble. Um, Eagleford guys are in trouble because Permian is coming over. Eagleford is basically getting squeezed out with the new pipelines coming from the Permian. So it makes that kind of an interesting balance. Um, the one good thing about the Eagleford, if there is a good thing, is that a lot of it's held by production and they still have the Austin Chalk, which does not require near as big of a frac. So in theory, that could still fire back up once prices come back up, but that's like a year or two away. Any stocks below 15 for the tankers? NNA, ticker NNA. I like that one. It's Navius. I don't know how to Navius. I'd really, guys, if I can get this channel really going, I'll start. I think they're cool, but I'll go to some manufacturing tours and stuff like that for you, so you can see stuff. Navios, Navios. I don't know how to pronounce it. Navios Maritime Acquisition Corporation. I like that one. They've made good money. They're down today, so it's a good time to buy them. But I like them long term, especially for the second quarter earnings tanker play. I'm kind of calling it the second quarter earnings tanker play because I think that's when they're going to, like, the profits that they're going to have in second quarter earnings is just going to be like mind blowing. Like it is going to blow people's minds how much freaking money they made. What is let's see, average oil tanker capacity. What's the average? Okay, so the average tanker can hold 2 million barrels. That's the average. Some are more, some are less. So 2 million, and they're charging up to $5 a month for storage. So these guys are knocking down literally, and think about operating. The tanker's just sitting there in the Gulf, wherever. It's just parked. It's not even driving anywhere. And that bastard is making $10 a month. That's insane cash, guys, and that's why I like tankers. That's why I've been pushing tankers. And second quarter earnings, they are going to pop like nobody's business because it's easy money. Yeah, buy after hour. You can still buy after hours. And remember too that the tankers have had a pretty good run up the last 2 weeks. So guys are taking profits, but when you think about just the cash cow, um, and the Saudis too, another factor for tankers. Saudis, they're coming off of it, I believe now, but they were up to 12 million barrels a day. Russians increased in the little price deal, so there was a lot of traffic moving. But tankers are awesome. Quest Trade, I've never heard of that. Just don't use Robinhood. I hear they suck when it matters. Yeah, West Coast too. Uh, Currently, not really. I mean, I've never really, I've never really cared for it. Um, as far as uh, as far as the oil, I don't like it. It's I don't know. It's just kind of fake almost. I just don't like the fund at all. I don't mess with it. But I will say, um, tankers is the only thing I like right now, and I'm still iffy on Pioneer. I'm really digging into them, and on Monday you'll have a decision on whether I like them to keep them or not. So um, I Oxy I don't like. I think they're going to first quarter earnings are going to be kind of fluffed and BS. Second quarters where the Titanic is hitting the iceberg and we're going to start seeing who has the life raft and who doesn't. That's like legit how it's going to go down. Second quarter earnings are going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be some acquisitions, some mergers, but it's all yet to play out. And a lot of these companies are not telling people that they're getting letters. Like Ring is not telling anybody they're getting letters from gatherers saying we're not buying your oil. So that's another deal that's going to happen, which should be interesting. Um, TNK. Let's see where they're at today. PK. Um, they're pretty high. I mean, I don't think you can really. I don't know that stock well. I haven't looked at it very well. Scorpio tankers and then Navius are the two I've looked at. But I really don't think you can go wrong in tankers right now. Honestly, like that is the safe harbor. It's it seems pretty high, but then again, if everybody's running to a life raft, they can run up. So you never know. If you're just joining, rig count is down 64. I made a video about it. Um, I expect the biggest drop to be right around May 15th or so. Middle of May is when the big big drop will come when contractual obligation drilling is done. Talking to guys that are still working out in the field, uh, every single one of them thinks the one they're drilling right now is the last well they're drilling, and then they're done. Um, it's drying up. A lot of guys got fired today, laid off. Sad day, but then again, half of America's out of work right now. So, all right, good luck on that one. And just remember, don't watch it every day. I get messages from guys when when Scorpio tankers or Navios Maritime starts dropping, and it'll eat your insides out if you watch it every second of the day, because it's a long term play. So just let it go long. You got to give it time. We're talking about pulling the trigger in June on these tankers, probably. So I mean, that's a long time. If it's going up and down every day, it just drive you crazy. It's like counting cards. If you went by every hand, you lose some, you win some, but overall, you're going to win it. All right, guys. You never know. Iran could get bombed. Iran keeps doing stupid stuff, trying to provoke the price. So you never know. Iran is like that drunk friend at the party that always seems to mess up the vibe and change everything. I used to be that guy, but I quit. I quit drinking. I'm sober now. So can make videos on being sober. Hell, that's half the battle right there. All right, guys, I'm signing off. If you have any more questions, put them in the comments. My email's all over the place. Thanks, Eric. It's an awesome deal to be sober. Going through these times and not wanting to drink is amazing. Oh, by the way, if you are sober, them Heineken 0.0 are legit awesome. It's kind of weird. All right, y'all have a good one. Please like and subscribe, guys. Thanks.